So I used to be really into Play Arts Kai. They were pretty good looking figures. They released figures in series that I care about, like Metal Gear. They did some Devil May Cry stuff, and some Resident Evil stuff here or there. But I stopped collecting them around the time of the Metal Gear Solid 5 figures because the quality kind of just stayed the same while the price just shot up. I'm very happy with the figures that I have now, but it just became harder and harder to justify, paying the prices that I was paying. And today, I've finally done it again. I finally bought a new Play Arts Kai for the first time in about 6 years, I guess. I have bought Bring Arts. That's what this 2B is, and I think that's good. I think that's a good middle ground. These are what the price of the Play Arts like used to be, and I like the scale better, but I could not pass up Tifa, one of my favorite characters, and I know that this is the type of figure that if I don't buy this now, it's only going to go up in price because that's always what happens with these Tifa figures. So, and I just wanted it because it's Tifa. I will say, like right off the bat, this box looks very like it looks sun damaged. I don't know if that's the style that they're going with. It's either that's the style that they're going with. I got a bootleg, or it legitimately is just sun damaged. And I knew I should have moved Ultraman out of the way because he just moved. He just fell down. So let's just open this up. I've seen some people complain about like the face of this figure. I feel like you've never seen a Play Arts before. Maybe it changed since I stopped collecting, but the faces were always the worst parts of the Play Arts. So that matters little to me. This feels so weird opening a Play Arts after so long. It feels like I'm going back to like an abusive ex or something. Because the figures, I always liked the figures. It's just the price, it was ridiculous. Like this cost a lot. I'm willing to pay it, but not as often as I used to. Is really the thing here. I wonder if they've improved their stands at all. I'm gonna go ahead and hazard a guess and say no. Actually, yes. Wow, genuinely surprised by that. They used to have those really awful like clear plastic stands that just were a complete mess to put together, and they never worked. So this is a giant step up. So here we go. Out of the box, we got top tier waifu. I mean Tifa Lockhart. And I gotta say, the face is not as bad as people were, I think, making it out to be. It'd be cool if I could like focus on her face. There we go. So yeah, I don't think the face is as bad as people were saying. It doesn't look as good as the like the promotional pictures, and I guess especially what's on the box, but it looks good. I think the problem is that the face might be a little too long and the features are, I think, too wide now. I think is the issue with this face. So I think I'm just gonna fiddle around with this a little bit just to see what the like articulation and stuff is like. Sorry, Godzilla, you gotta go down on the floor. Because this was always another thing that I didn't quite love about Play Arts, was the articulation was always kind of a little annoying, little rigid. But wow, look how smooth that is. Have they fixed their stuff over the years? Because it used to be, I feel like, really rigid. Maybe this is a new renaissance for Play Arts. Maybe they've gotten their stuff together. I mean, this isn't obviously going to move very good because it's connected to the skirt. Why is that not focused on her? By the way, I love this design. That's why I had to get this one. I always liked the original Tifa design, but I think the changes that they made in the remake really, I think, kind of separate it a little bit better. I think all the new bits of black really help it stand out a lot more, like the leggings, instead of just being, her legs. I think this is way better. I think the little accents of black, I guess what would that be, like a sports bra she's wearing underneath, I think really help the look of her design. I will say I think the red on her like arms should have been a little bit brighter, because as it is, it's just kind of like a maroon color, but her boots are like real red, and I think all the red should be like that. So I like that. I don't know why they've given so many hair options. I guess that's what I'll dig into now, is the accessories. And I guess I should check out the instructions too. Fix your posture. You've got gamer neck. We don't want to see that. I assume the hair is for... man, it would be nice if it was in English, if there's some sort of directions. I assume it's for posability, like that one will allow you to do specific poses, but I don't know what that one is for. It's just like slightly off to the side. Yeah, remove the hair. Oh yeah, there's an alternate face. Let's check that out. The alternate face looks just about the same. Like, it's the same expression, I would have to say. Maybe it's a little bit more serious. I guess I'll try that one, because I'm probably gonna have her in some sort of an action pose. Yeah, I mean, that is like a negligible difference. That's like a real SH Figuarts alternate head, where it has absolutely no difference from the initial head. It just kind of is a very slight difference. So yeah, there's that head, and then I did not mean to look at her chest, I'm sorry. So here's the new face, and here is the one that she came boxed in with. I guess this one's smiling, this one is a little bit more serious. I'll probably stick with the serious one. I would have liked a little bit more of an expressive face, though. Alright, let's look at the accessories now, which is just a couple of fists, really. Or I guess not necessarily fists. There's some hands. There's some like grappling hands. Some just normal fist hands and some open hands. So those are probably going to be fun to experiment with. Now there's a pose that she's doing on the box where she's grabbing her glove. And I would like to assume that you can pull that pose off. But I'm going to go ahead and say that you can't, because I've never been able to do a pose like that on a figure. So here's the two other pieces of hair. This one's way like flowing. Like I said, I assume it's to give the appearance of movement, and also to help with some other poses so it doesn't limit her articulation. But I also don't really feel like the hair is gonna impact that at all. I guess you can get her to look in a different direction. Alright, let me try and do the pose that's on the box, which is this open hand, and then I guess this one? That doesn't seem to make any sense, but we'll try it. This was also... Actually, no, I think Play Arts was always one of the better ones when it came to switching hands. Because they have the thicker, like, pegs. Alright. Can we do it? Let me see. Let me take a look at the box. I mean, slightly? Yeah, you could do it. It doesn't look exactly how it looks on the box, but you can get her to do that pose, which is, if I'm going to be completely honest, very surprising. Because there are some other figures over the years that I've tried to do like a similar pose with that have just never ever worked. I guess from that side you can't really see it. You can probably get her to hold her arm, But it also looks like she's in pain, and this is not how it's supposed to look. So, I don't know. You can kind of get her to do it. I don't think that's how I'll be posing her, because that's fairly boring looking, but it is a cool, I think, fairly iconic pose of hers, so it's something to keep in mind. Alright, so I did just try and get her in this, like, kicking pose that she's on, that she's got in some of the pictures. But I don't. It looks kind of wrong. But then again, I've never been the best at posing figures, and obviously, she would need the stand to better like balance here. But yeah, I mean, her range of motion is very good, surprisingly, especially with the skirt. I assume she can't go up as much. Actually, no, that's still pretty good. But yeah, that is much better than I really ever anticipated the movement she was going to have. Also, this is the one of the alternate hair pieces, I think. Unless I just replaced it with the exact one that it came with, which I think I'm looking at it now, and I think I did. So, that doesn't even matter. Okay, so swapping the hands in and out is perfectly fine, and we actually love to do it. The heads, not so much. So here she's kind of in more of a little bit of an action pose. Again, I'm trying to kind of set it up correctly, but it doesn't look as good as some of the promotional pictures, and I can never tell if that's on me or if that's the figure's fault. I think it's me, just because I've never really been great at posing figures. So yeah, I also feel like because of her tiny little thin legs, she's definitely going to need to use that stand. So I'm not too thrilled about that. I feel like even though she has like pretty limited amount of accessories, like it's really just the hands and some of the like alternate hairs, I am going to have quite a bit of trouble trying to figure out how I want to display her, because I could just keep mixing and matching these hands and pulling off different poses, and yeah, it's going to take me a while to figure which one I like the most. So even though the accessories are technically limited, I feel like there's a lot you can do with them, so it's not that big of a deal. But I don't know what else you could have given Tifa. You know, it's not like Cloud. You can't give him, can't give her a sword. You can't give her a gun. Maybe like different types of gloves, because you can equip her with different like weapons in the game, like brass knuckles, stuff like that. I think that would have been an interesting little thing. Maybe like an extra couple sets of hands on top of what they already gave. But I don't know. And I would like to just stress that the figure looks great. Like all the details on it look really, really good. Like this looks just like the in-game character model, I would say, or maybe at least some renders of it. And if people really did have a problem with the face, which I don't really see, I don't think it's that bad. If I'm being completely honest, I think it looks pretty good. Again, it doesn't look like some of the prototypes that we've seen and what's on the box, but it doesn't, it's clearly Tifa. And play arts, I think, have always had an issue with faces. Just look at the old Metal Gear stuff. Like their faces are so darkened, and it's just so bizarre. Like you could probably hold on, if I move Tifa slightly, Lara in the background, like look at that. She looks like a raccoon. The amount of shading and stuff that they used to put on these figures, that this is a gigantic improvement. But yeah, even if the face was a huge problem, which 50-50. Some people are going to think it's a problem, others aren't. I think it looks pretty good. The rest of the figure looks great, and I think that is really all that matters. It's like 90% a good-looking figure, and then the head. But I personally think the whole thing looks pretty good, and it articulates really well. So overall, I will say that I do quite enjoy this figure. I think it's pretty cool. It's got a good range of motion. the accessories aren't fantastic, but I don't really know what else you could have given her. Maybe like some materia orbs or something. I don't know. Like I really don't know what else she could have had. So I guess to finally just bring this video full circle, is this going to get me back into play arts? Probably not. It is a very good figure. It is still very much so too expensive. I would say there have been some definite improvements since the last play arts that I bought that might justify the price. Again, if there were more accessories, but what do you do? How do you do accessories for Tifa? I think they've definitely started. I mean, it's Square Enix making a product for Square Enix. I was gonna say they've definitely been able to make the product look like the actual character as opposed to how they used to do it, where they used to be really stylized. I think they've probably come away from that, or at least in the Final Fantasy line. I don't know about the others. So I think that's a definite improvement. The fact that they got rid of their old stand, I think, is a good little thing. And let me actually put that together while we're here. I don't understand why there's two, like, hooks exactly, unless one is to, like, go to a different part of her body, hook onto a different part of her, but I don't know for sure. This looks easy to put together, and it looks like it'll actually work, which is, again, the complete opposite of how these stands used to be. Because these used to be probably the worst stands in the game. I think I would throw those out as soon as I got them. Yeah, this actually looks like a competent stand. Maybe not, like, the best in terms of, like, material or whatever. Like, who knows how long this will actually last for, but it actually looks like it'll function as a stand, as it is intended to function. So let's see here. Let's pop her in this. Again, I don't know exactly. This is hard to do for some reason. There we go. It's hard to kind of figure out how you want her to be on the stand. I might not even need to use it. I just wanted to show that it is in fact usable. But there you go. There's Tifa floating 2 inches off the ground now. I think I wanted to at one point collect all of the Final Fantasy VII Remake play arts, but I think first off it's too late for that already. I would have to go back and get Cloud, Barret, and Sephiroth. But I'm not even that interested in that. I might pick up Cloud at some point if they re-release Cloud, or like do Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 Cloud or something like that. Actually, here's the thing. If they release Cloud in a dress, I will buy it. That goes the same for Tifa in a dress. I will buy that too. But specifically, you put out Cloud in a dress, I will buy that. If they make one for Yuffie, which, I mean, they're going to because she's such a popular character, I'll probably buy that because her new design is great, and especially if they put that Moogle hood as an accessory, I will buy that, and I will love it forever, dearly. So, I'm probably still not going to be buying very many play arts, but the fact that I bought this one is 100% increase over the past 6 years, so it's not nothing. I don't know what the next video will be, because I don't think I have anything lined up, like, pre-order-wise. So it's probably just going to be random. So thank you for watching this. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something. I know I did. And I guess I'll see you next time.